You guys are good to go. Good luck.
All right.
JJ's here.
All right. So welcome to the world's largest ghost hunt. We are getting ready to do kind of a multitude of things at this point. My name is Brandy Stark. I am the founder of the Spirits of St Petersburg, and we have our wonderful guest with us tonight. We are investigating the Suntan Art Center, which is actually in a building called the Don Vista Building. The Don Vista Building goes back to 1924, and in this area it actually has a great bit of history. So the Don Vista Center is actually where Thomas Rowe, who is one of our most famous architects in this area, lived while he was building the hotel that is directly behind us. The Don Cesar Hotel was opened in 1928. Thomas Rowe was a highly dedicated individual. He managed the hotel right during its heyday. He owned it and then ultimately lost it. Unfortunately, this area ended up with a building drop, a building boom followed by a building depression, and the Great Depression hit Florida and he could not maintain payments on the hotel. A friend of his bought it, gave it back to him, and he actually managed the hotel until he died. What's really interesting is that Thomas Rowe is alleged to haunt the building behind us. He haunts the Don Cesar, but we sometimes wonder if he has a connection to this building here. After it was used as his house while the Don Cesar was being built, this became a building of administrative offices. So the hotel folk would come over here. It housed a bank, and it also housed the administration. After that, Thomas Rowe passes away somewhat unexpectedly. He initially wanted to will the hotel to his employees instead of his estranged wife, but unfortunately on his deathbed, so the story goes, the nurse would not authenticate his signature. She did not believe that he was in his right mind and so would not witness the will. The hotel ended up passing to his widow, who ran it terribly, I'm very sorry to say. So when the hotel goes to his widow, this building is considered part of that property, and she ended up with it as well. By the time World War II hits, the building was in such disrepair and so far back in its taxes, its property taxes, that the Army actually bought it, both the hotel and the Don Vista building, for $144,000 only for the back taxes. So this then became a military hospital at the hotel, and over here we had the doctor's offices and administrative staff. After a time, this building also housed the wildlife, Department of Wildlife. The room that we're actually in added these podiums that you see. These were not part of the original structure because the building became so heavy with library books that they felt that they needed to, and then we ended up with new owners eventually buying the hotel. This particular building ended up going to the city of St. Petersburg, and they allowed a group called the Suntan Art Center to move in here in 1984. The members of the Suntan Art Center actually reconstructed parts of the building, but a lot of it is still quite original. So the floor tile on the first floor, the herringbone tile that you all saw, is original 1924 tile that Thomas Rowe and every single person that ever came into this building has actually walked on. So it's really cool. We started to investigate this building in 2016, although the first recorded webpage that I put up was 2017. This was a site where my very special paranormal pugs came and actually helped us to investigate, and we got some phenomenon. And we actually did a recheck last Saturday, and we got some phenomenon, which we'll take a look at later. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to try a couple of experiments with Viva, who is one of the Spirits members. She is going to attempt a blindfold spirit box session with both random questions that she has not heard and some pre-written questions that she will not know the order of. So I'm going to turn this over to her. Come on over, Viva. Oh, that's actually...
When you're ready. You ready? Yeah, okay. Just give me a hand signal when you're, okay. So just somebody touch me on this shoulder when you're ready for me to stop.
Okay, I'll stand next to you then. So the idea with this is, and I'm sure you've seen it on television, but she has a spirit box that is scanning the airwaves. She's going to put on blindfolds so she cannot see, and she's going to have it turned up with special headphones that she cannot hear us, just the noise from the device. and we're going to ask
Change
a
channels.
series of questions. I think it's the fast forward button there. And she's going to try and listen to see if she gets a response through this device. All right, can you hear us? You can't hear us? You're good to go? Blindfold down. Who's going to ask the questions? All right, so Marina's going to ask the questions. When we're done with the first set of questions, I will tap her on the shoulder to end the session.
Why was the building next door named Don Cesar? Who has been watching us all evening?
Don't know.
You don't know who's been watching us, or you don't know the origin of Don Cesar?
Father,
Whose father? No. Oh, was that the alarm?
Fred,
Fred.
oh,
Fred, oh. How do you experience time? Who's Thomas?
came into,
Came into where?
boom, boom,
Boom. The boom era? The boom real estate era?
hey mom,
Hey, mom. Whose mother?
hi, live,
Yes, we are live.
oh man,
Yeah, oh man, we're live.
do you,
Do I what?
down,
Down where?
B,
How can we improve contact with you?
almost,
We're almost using the right method to improve contact? What do we look like to you?
AM,
AM?
he ran out,
No. What time period is it in your world? What year is it in our world?
lucky,
What's the secret word that was generated for this evening?
I'm good,
Okay, you're good, but that's not a word. What's the secret word? We're partying outside and then you guys have to say it's me.
Yes. Yes.
So definitely note for all recorders, we do have outside.
Yeah, there's a hotel next door, so there's a party going on. Where's Thomas Landry? Anybody else has any questions, feel free to jump in.
Actually, just
we are now,
when you're ready, if you have a question, raise your hand. Just get you going that way.
We are now what?
into,
Into where?
got,
Oh, got.
So you're just now understanding the device that you've been attempting to use all night? Well, not all night, but in this few minutes.
What's your favorite color? What's the last thing you
you know, fine,
I don't know your favorite color, that's why I asked.
And actually, if you all are getting anything with these, please keep jotting it down.
What color is the ladies here next to you? Should they not be next to you or?
So you can ask that question, where are you communicating it to us from?
That's weird.
How old are you?
a good question.
How did you die?
Okay. You can't?
Can't what?
Yeah, we need you to speak through Levi in order to hear what you say to us.
What do we look like?
Wow, I don't know what's going on with
There
that.
we go. Oh, what is this screaming in the
There was
background?
a wedding earlier. Because the ring doll tried to come in earlier.
All right, JJ, go for it.
Cash.
Go to that to it.
Can you travel to different buildings?
Can you travel to different dimensions?
Is there life after death?
What color is the hotel next door? Are you still with us?
Get out.
Okay.
Don't ever ask that question, Marina.
Can you repeat that phrase? What do you want us
Good
to?
idea.
Why you want us to get out?
Are you associated with the hotel?
Was the get out directed at the
That's it.
humans in the room? Can you at least let me finish the question so that the other humans in the room know what I'm asking?
So do you want us to get out of the room?
Or was the get out directed at the other spirits encroaching on your territory?
Cream puff.
That's weird.
Are you hungry?
Their job. Shout out.
How many spirits are with us right now? Were you an artist? Why do you like it here?
Fast cut.
Do you stay?
Basket.
Do you stay here all the time?
Warning.
Warning. What are you warning us of?
Is this the hostess figure that's up here? Are you the hostess?
Too late. Repo.
Are you Carlton Beard?
Locking.
Are you the running man?
Are you the person I felt last weekend in Room C?
Dance.
All right, were there dances held in this room?
Workout. Free.
Okay. Was this associated
Still.
with the hotel? Is this Jean?
We win.
I missed that last one.
We win.
We win.
What did we win?
Hold on.
Did you have to check what prize we won?
Wave. IP8. Bring yours.
Interesting. Okay. How do you feel about this building? How do you feel about the people that work here?
Free parking.
That's a thing, man, that's a real thing.
Zero.
What body of water is right outside of this building?
Give it up.
Do you not like me? You're telling me, get out and give it up.
Probably not, because there's also that, were you the one that kept setting the alarm off on Marina earlier today? Sorry, that was my cat.
What day is it?
Really hot.
That is true.
So hot.
Yes, it is. We're forgetting ourselves.
Just not.
All right, let's give it 1 minute. Does anyone else have any questions?
Right.
And then we'll move to the spirit portal.
Sounds like she's trying to give us a recipe to make something.
That kind of does.
Can we go out to the pre-bus?
Well, we appreciate your taking the time to communicate with us. Do you have any last messages that you'd like to pass on? I take it that is a no. All right, it's 8:17. Do we want to go ahead and pause?
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next. Sorry, it takes me a second. Okay. With that, I will tell you the only parts that made much sense. Prior investigations, particularly in this room, I've had sensitives who said they felt like there was a dance that happened up here, particularly 1930s swing dance type music. We did wonder if the female presence, if she's still here, might be Thomas Rowe's assistant, Jean, because I have had multiple people who have seen her, and she's always wearing, they call it like a rhoda headband. And what's odd is that these are folks that have never seen each other or haven't been to the building before, and they will describe her as being very welcoming. She's very excited to have people here, and we call her the hostess because we can't get her to say a name. She's a little enigmatic, and she likes to hang out, at least initially in this room. We think there's been some flipping going on because the art center has had some changes. So they moved in here in '84, they've been here ever since. They eventually did get a full-time employee who was here for, I believe, about 15 years. Is no longer here, and they've had a couple of administrators who've come and gone. So they hired a new administrator, he moved away at COVID. They had a new administrator that was promoted who actually got COVID and has been out for the past probably about 2 months or so. It's been very chaotic. But with the change in administration, we've also had change in room function. So this used to be the Merry Neighbors room, and ultimately it became the members gallery, which is interesting. There was a front office downstairs that got moved to the glass studio, and both of those were renamed. And instead of having somebody stay in that front office, they have shifted basically to downstairs, right below that room. So we're wondering if there's been some displacement over the past year, because we had a feminine presence here and a masculine presence on the first floor. And they're both very enigmatic. They're kind of, take no offense guys, but you're annoyingly enigmatic because they will not tell us much. The one downstairs we nicknamed the running man, in part because all he would do is rush by you. And in fact, he was the first reported phenomenon that I heard about from the first administrator that was here. So she would come in at 7 in the morning, and she would feel like there was somebody standing watching her near the stairwell. And she would hear shuffling movements. So every time we try to communicate with him, he will not communicate. He will dodge, he'll get out of your way, he'll hide in the storage closet. The only time we actually got a communication from him was when I had my 2 paranormal pugs, Odysseus and Achilles, here. And for some reason, he stopped in the glass studio, and he seemed to be a little bit entranced by them, but still very cagey. He is in a hurry to file something. He's going through paperwork. There's some sort of emergency that he's trying to follow up with. Will not tell us the name. We have had a military presence also sensed by past investigators. Same deal. Will not tell us who it is. So we're trying to kind of figure out tonight if the shift has happened, if somehow our running man from downstairs has come upstairs, what the female presence is doing. It's been a unique twist. Now, did you all get anything while we were trying for the questions?
Go ahead, speak up.
I just heard a woman's voice on the phone.
Okay, did you say anything?
I couldn't hear what she said, but it was
I found
loud,
it.
echoing. Did you guys hear it?
I heard it. We heard some.
We heard it,
You heard the voice.
But I didn't hear.
That's what we were just talking about, like, did you just hear that? Because
It was like 2 or 3 syllables is what I heard, but I couldn't make out what she said.
Okay.
So if you guys hear anything, feel anything?
How about you guys?
Speak up.
I've just been like repeatedly hearing the name Jeremy in my head. I don't know if that.
Okay.
Jeremy?
That's all right. I saw you writing some things down.
Oh.
It's okay. I mean, if you don't want to share, you don't have to. We'll keep you company.
Yes, it's the friend right next to you and have her share.
There you go.
I remember there is supposedly a random word out there somewhere for tonight, so we don't know what it is.
Okay, I kept hearing can't see to like the color questions and for everything, and no stuck. Over and over again. Those two things.
Yeah, not stuck.
No, stuck.
No stuck.
Oh,
He is
no, like I'm
stuck.
stuck here.
Yeah,
Okay.
like you asked, which can't see.
What do you mean?
No, stuck. Can't see.
We're going to try the spirit portal session next. We'll see if we can get an answer. But I'm wondering if he is a soldier from next door. Because remember that the Don Cesar after World War II was used as a military hospital. And in fact, that's where some of the ghosts next door come from. We did find the morgue elevator on the first floor. So not only is Thomas Rowe there, but there's a haunted mirror in which people are supposed to look back at you. And there was the military marching presence that at least a couple of folks picked up on. So it is possible that perhaps some displacement has happened and they're associated over here. If you're not aware, the Don Cesar was very successful with its PSTD program, which is essentially what it was before it was called PSTD. These were World War II soldiers who came back. Remember, World War II was quite brutal. There was kind of that wall of silence that came with it. It was supposed to be an honorable war, but then you start getting things like Saving Private Ryan, which start going into the actual stories, and it was brutal. Very, very brutal. The more you learn about it, the more brutal it becomes. So the PSTD type rehabilitation programs here were very successful, but apparently somewhat expensive. And it got to the point where they were renovating, and the government just said, it's just too much money, and we quit, and they did. And so it would be interesting if that was perhaps a soldier that was here. Might also explain not being able to see if he was blinded. All right, JJ, how are you doing with your spirit portal?
I think it's set up.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah, we did it downstairs, didn't get much, but we can try it.
Try it one more time up here.
You want to bring it over here?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Are we getting anything with the SLS?
Are we doing it blindfolded again or no?
Or we'll do the questions one more time with the spirit portal.
Blindfold. Same.
I think that was Viva, so I think we'll just do it without
Do what?
the spirit portal session just to see if we get anything. So listen carefully.
Welcome to the world's largest ghost hunt. We are Spirits of St. Petersburg, coming to you from the Suntan Art Center in St. Pete Beach, Florida.
She's very good.
You gonna sit there, Gigi? No, because it won't be.
Oh. And eventually, towards the end, what I think is really interesting is that last week, oh good, and I do have some equipment over here if anybody would like to use any. I do have some meters set up.
Have you ever had them up here? Where just your KT meter just sits solid in the,
I'm assuming it's because there's probably lights downstairs.
that's what I'm wondering.
not the best sounding building. But yeah, there's room to
And you're right in front of like all of our equipment too.
We, there's been some interesting phenomena that have come through. And again, we've got it on our website, we can check that for you.
Do you want to talk about what happened earlier, or still wait till later?
We might have figured out what that was. Because when I picked up my bag, it beeped, so it could have been something that was in there. Because my equipment was in there, so I'm assuming that someone got the door turned on for the beeping alarm. Okay, well, it's working. But we did talk about what you heard.
At what time? Because you got me very specific with that question.
Yeah, we heard that things.
The very, very beginning.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about now.
Okay.
So, Marina, we were all in room, Marina, me, and Christy were in room C talking about whatever we were, talking about the differences between the clairs and clairaudience was the one we were talking about. If you guys don't know what clairaudience is, it's basically hearing the spirit with your voice and everything, with your ears. Don't hear it with your voice, it doesn't work. Hearing with your ears and okay.
There's also clairvoyance where you see things and claircognizance where you're aware of things.
So talking about the difference, and I know I'm beginning to define myself as a clairaudient because I'm hearing a lot of stuff that not everybody else does. And it sucks when the equipment doesn't pick up on it because I'm like, oh, I heard this, you guys are going to be amazed, and wait, there's no record of it anyway, great. But we were talking about it, and at the same time, all three of us go, there's somebody coming up the stairs, and we thought it was one of you guys coming. Problem was, I heard a male voice saying something. You guys look around, there's no male here, and but we all heard something. We all go check out. We're like, okay, we're going to direct the guests into the right. There's nobody here, no physical being anyway.
So you've already heard the male voice. We had a female voice that was recently heard. Last week, we did get a couple of EVPs, and I was very surprised at that, actually, because I worry about this building, because there are times where I'm like, they are so cagey here. Are they going to cooperate? And I was very surprised, because last week they did. We did get a male voice on EVP, which we'll play for you. The female, I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's really odd. For years, it was very steadfast that she was upstairs, and that the male entity was downstairs, and they did not like each other. He did not come upstairs, and yet all of a sudden, we're now getting these new occurrences upstairs, which I don't, as I said, the only thinking I have of that is that they had been displaced somehow with the new management coming in and they're switching to the offices. Okay. You want to try the questions? You want to try some questions, Maria?
Okay.
You're the only other one that has my hand.
For the full song?
How do you experience time? What year is it? What do we look like to you? What is the best way to communicate with you?
I don't know what it said. If you guys can tell us but I'm here to do that too.
What is the secret word that has been generated tonight? I heard the word eat, but I heard eat at one point.
I heard help.
And you repeated hot heat was very hot when you were blindfolded, yeah.
I had to do that with accent, but
What are some other locations that are doing this business tonight? What are some other countries that are doing this business tonight? England? And that is one of the countries. Does anyone have a question they want to ask? Are you attached to the building? Are you able to leave this building? I heard the word move. Help. Help. What do you need help with?
Are you a military soldier? Did you go through the work of World War II?
I heard yes, ma'am.
You're a military man?
I heard
You
you.
went through World War II?
I did.
Did you stay at the Don Cesar when it was a military hospital? Are you getting chills?
Yeah.
All right, so we're starting to narrow in on you. Did you die from your wounds? Did you come to this building? Did you come to this building when you were alive? You go back and forth between the buildings. Can you tell us your name, please? John? Is your name John? What did you get? At 7:39, I documented the names on this one. Awesome, perfect. John, are you the person that we have been picking up on? Have you communicated with us? If you will do us a favor, we have a special camera right there on that table. Can you stand by this chair so that we can see you? Yes, you.
It said me in the question, huh?
Yes, you please. We'd like to see you so we know who we're communicating with. You got a whole room of ladies right here wanting to talk to you.
I heard Christy.
Christy.
I got Christy. I don't know.
All right, I'm getting control.
John, would you like to dance?
Are you so comfortable?
I'm not, I'm fine, but she's just like,
My hair is trying to leave.
I'm buzzing. And vibrating.
I got that on my knee, like on my leg.
John? Can you tell us your last name, please?
Christy.
Christy.
Christy,
Okay, was it John Christy?
Do you drink?
Did you drink after the war? What theater did you fight in? In Japan? You said Russia?
I heard Russian.
Yeah.
Really? You fought on the Russian front? Did you help liberate the camps? Did you die of injuries due to the cold? It's an odd place to send you from Russia to here. What did it say?
Well, I had a thought process. We hear the word Russia, and you think it's a long distance. One of the things we're doing for the world's largest ghost hunt is the Para Unity. St. Petersburg, Florida, St. Petersburg, Russia.
Well, we're made for it.
What did that say? Does that say true? No?
Do you have a message that you want to pass on to us?
No?
Do you just want us to know that you're here? Is there anything that we can do to make you more comfortable? John, if you're here, we have put a concierge bell right on the chair. Would you be willing to ring my bell? You have to concentrate your energy. Are you able to touch that bell and ring it, please?
Yeah.
Is it done?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't hear it.
So there's a cord, see if you got anything on the cord. Is there anything else that we should be asking?
Why do you hear a whistle so much?
Were you a bird watcher?
Did you have problems with your kidneys?
That would be interesting. Well, it's not it's alcohol smell. You keep saying don't, let the message is already here.
There's a bell in there.
I did too.
Yes. Oh, and I said alcoholic. Do you have a message here for somebody that needs to hear what he's going to say about you? That, like, that's what I meant. I want to, like, he's not trying to be like on the camera, he's not trying to put on a show, like, he's here trying to make a personal message to somebody.
I'm 90 days sober today.
John, what is this?
How many days?
90 days. The goosebumps are huge right now.
And her hair is standing up on end right now.
Why don't we try asking, is it me? And let's see if I get the result. Are you happy for her 90 days? Can you indicate who the message is for? So what is it in that? What I know, like my this feeling so almost like swallowing. And it also, I feel sweat. You know, it's funny you say that, because when you first went in, I thought it was weird. Sorry. No, not to be disrespectful, but I didn't want to say anything, because it was like, following, like football. I don't know if that makes sense. Like somebody came off the stairs. But like kind of has that sour blood. Yeah. But not like pulp, but it's like sour. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. And that wasn't the issue, because if you put in a t-shirt like the piano and those, the islands, they have horrible fungus issues because it was wet all the time. And it was just, things that was kind of not talked about. But, I mean, everything from food to generals to everything. It's just, well, there was a hospital, there's like something smells that go along with hospitals and surgery and. But it was always that thing that came over in the foot pump, right? Yeah. Foot pump smell. So, do we just want to try, is it me, John, you want to communicate with one of us just to see if he gets a response? And so if you can get a understanding of how good it is, we'll try and see if he gets a response in that too. All right, so we're going to we'll start with you. So John, if you're here, you can make this meter spike on the person who says, is it me that I want to communicate with? Or you can leave a message for us or indicate who it is that you have a message for. This is your opportunity. Again, a room full of women, just for you. So go ahead.
John, is it me you want to communicate with?
John, do you want to communicate with me?
John, do you want to communicate with me?
John, darling, would you like to communicate with me?
I like the darling. All right, we'll go with the background.
John, do you want to communicate with me? John, do you want to communicate with me?
Next up. John, you want to communicate with me? Next up.
I'm sorry, come on. No offense to you. No offense. I swear I heard you're too old.
Oh, for a blank. I can tell you, I'll be 70 tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm good, girl.
I know.
What do you want?
I heard. Well,
You
did. It just said you did.
You did hit that right. And
John,
what everybody remembers when Myrna asked about that downstairs.
about us being old.
Yeah. Yes, we got old downstairs too.
Wow. All right, let's. He's right. Go ahead. John, are you communicating with me?
John, are you communicating with me?
I guess we'll try the spirits numbers. Viva?
John, are you trying to communicate with me?
JJ?
John, you trying to communicate with me?
Christy?
John, are you trying to communicate with me?
You're lucky, no Spike. It's not Spike. Oh, no, it's just Spike. I'm sorry.
Oh, you said your name earlier.
Yeah,
A couple of times.
All right, we'll keep going though. John, are you trying to communicate with me? I'm too old too.
Oh, only in the back of the room.
Pausing. There's an EMF meter in this chair,
Yes.
and it has been spiking.
Okay.
When you just said, do you want to communicate with me? And then you immediately said, I'm too old, and it
Oh,
spiked.
Whatever.
Okay.
All right.
You're young, you ask.
So we got Marina.
Hey, John, try to communicate with me.
I also just had a thought about that. Eva, do you remember what happened to me on the SLS last weekend?
Last weekend, we SLS. Oh, yes.
Okay,
Chris does not want to ask this question.
So Carissa, go for it.
John, is it me that you want to talk to?
Good luck, despite feeling
That's because the question is wrong.
Okay.
I don't want to ask the question.
Ask the question.
No, we're live people.
I know, that's probably why I don't want to ask.
So when we were here,
Checking out. I was sitting over here in my SLS and I was pointing over to this direction. Well, the SLS picks up on us and it'll make 3D, like these little stick figures you see here on the screen. So the idea is that there's something else that's roaming, that maybe it'll pick up and make another entity. Well, we were trying to develop this pole that maybe there's something on here that's made a stick figure. So Carissa comes over and stands next to the pole because we had something here, and it kind of like, let's just say it wrapped its arms around her in places it should not have.
Yes. So the question is wrong. He doesn't want to talk to me. He wants to do something else. And I don't want to ask that because and at the time
Okay, guys, we've got
I was not into doing
It's
that.
back. There it is. You see the SLS?
Oh, yeah, I have a pole.
He's a pole dancer.
Feeling over here. That would, yeah, that makes sense. Good rubbing something.
Why is my hand so associated with the pole there? That's what's so odd.
so can we get that live? I'm trying to turn the camera
Still showing.
to your computer where they can see it live, but they can't. Okay.
I can feel
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's definitely responding.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get the camera so live people can see it, but I can't.
Can you turn it around so it sees the
Yes,
straight
oh.
on the wall? Because I reached out my hand and it appears to have reached my hand.
Got it?
There. There we go.
So, yeah.
There we go. Okay. So it's
Oh,
reaching
nice.
out to you.
John, is this you? If the answer is yes, can you make this meter spike or indicate that a yes presence, a yes answer?
It's still reaching out the hand, even though you've moved. Oh, maybe you could zoom in or how about.
So thank you for joining us for the world's largest ghost hunt. We are Spirits of St. Petersburg, and we are at the Suntan Art Center in St. Pete Beach, Florida. Thank you for watching.
You said 10 minutes, right?
Do we want to try the portal one more time?
Yeah.
I'll just take that one.
Say it one more time.
About 5 or 10 minutes ago, there was a lot of thumping and knocks, and me and Christy went to go look because it was loud and everything. Somebody was trying to get into the suntan.
Like physically in?
Physically in, yes, humans.
Oh.
Physical humans were trying to get into the suntan.
Okay,
So
we don't
5 to
know
10
that.
minutes ago, you guys get knocks, thumps, studs, whatever on recordings, if you're recording. Get rid of it.
Maybe the
Throw those
party
out, throw those out, those
Okay.
are physical humans making those noises.
Viva, do you happen to have the files from last week? Are you able to bring those up so we can listen to them? We'd like to hear what you hear. The 4 little EVPs that we got. I will also tell you, I'm not particularly sensitive, so this was very unusual, but I had Tropolis, this thing, and as we're standing here, there's all sorts of activity going on out in the hall. And I actually had, I'm like, me, a peripheral vision. I actually saw somebody pass by that doorway, yes. Yes, I was shocked, because I don't know any of this stuff, and I'm like, hey, where is there somebody out there? The Tropolis was quite fascinated with the stairwell. It took him a little while to kind of get into it, but then what I look for with him in particular, pugs are very active and they're adorable and they're sweet and they're perfect, except when they try to kill you, but it's fine. But he would start staring. And initially he was staring at the mirror, which I thought was interesting, but then he would start going outside and he would stare at the stairwell. And he was quite fascinated by that. We actually have a 10-minute YouTube video because I'm following the pug of him just kind of stopping and staring. And he was fairly accurate. He kept going back to Passion C as well, which was unusual. When we actually did the investigation with the pugs before, as I mentioned, we actually climbed up the stairs here. I had 2 pugs with me. They refused to come up at that time. We got to the top step and my little video camera that's sitting over there. I'm recording. See everything going, you see the legs because I'm a very bad videographer. And we get to the top of the stairs, right outside this door here, and the camera goes into static, completely. No explanation, I don't know why. We took it downstairs, it actually had a battery drain, and I will eventually play that for you if we get our website up, because it's actually on the page. I tried EVPs here, there's an odd chirp or whistle that has been heard. I don't know what it is. I actually picked it up in the building next door. I'm the only one here. Everything's locked and closed. It's in the middle of the room, and you get a chirp. And I'm like, okay. We picked it up here as well. I have looked. I have talked to the board. I have interviewed the employees. Ooh, we got stuff.
Well, I can't find the ones that we want.
Let's see. If not, you can go to the webpage too, because I popped them up there.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Battery drains on equipment are very common when you go on investigations.
Yes.
And it's also part of why I try not to touch the technology anymore, because I have come up with the saying,
Current cases?
you're not a real ghost investigator if the technology
Click on the
works
Suntan Art
it.
Center. Let's look at the first one. We'll show that video all the way up to the top.
Yes.
And then you have no investigator find it?
It's not this one down here?
That's the current one. I wanted to show you the little video first.
But there was one, and the spirits don't know about this, about this story.
This
I
one?
don't think I told them yet.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it kicked in.
Okay, tell me what
This one here?
and then I'll interrupt my story.
Okay, so this, can we turn the camera? The camera's showing the screen, right?
I think they're off now.
Okay. So this is the video. Okay, we got Carissa. Let's take a quick look. From 2016, this is one of our preliminary investigations. You got it? Oh, we got an infinity loop going. Cool.
Oh,
Now we're gonna get a vortex.
Yeah. Too late, already started.
So this is Achilles and Odysseus. How they cute, my babies. They're full brothers, they're litter mates, and they always work together in tandem. And they're like, nope, forget it. It's always embarrassing when they don't listen to you. So here we are, going up the stairs. Completely out. Battery drained, camera not. It's never done it before since.
what kind of camera were you using?
Infrared film, or excuse me, infrared. Took it downstairs, battery went back up, it worked normally. and we could not replicate
That's
it
really
after that
strange.
first
The
one.
battery just went down too.
Yay, investigator, document. And you can pause it there because it's not very exciting, it's just all static now. And I was trying to go, why is it staticky? If you scroll down just a little, we'll see if either of those EVPs will play. One has the little chirp. The website sometimes will start. Oh, I think that's the dude. Let's see if it plays. Oh no, that's the chirp. I think that's the excitement on that one. I just usually get big old clips. Okay, I heard the whisper that time.
Anybody hear it?
Well, you don't think he's singing.
It's a long sentence, it's hard to say. It's really long, it's like a full,
Is it?
yeah.
I keep hearing I'm dead.
Oh,
That's part of it, but I'm not very good at it. So anyway, yeah, that was, and then we'll show you what we got on our last investigation. So it's weird that Brooke ended like this. Good for us. So we were getting, don't play the whole video because that's all the pug stuff, but let's play the EVP sounds. Sorry. Y'all can watch the cute pugs. I don't know how to hear it that time.
I did. It's underneath your voice.
Talking to me. There it is.
Now remember, we're an all-female team.
There are no members. And I mean, that's not planned, there's nothing wrong with men, it's just, right now we're all female team, and we're alone in the building. And what's even worse is that that little device is in my hand. I'm like, I was very close.
But
What did you-
But any of you able to hear it?
Play it again.
Just, hey.
Yeah, that's a hard K. A K or higher. And then we caught the bird. And we're gonna play with that and try and play it.
Hey guys.
Okay, that was the whistle. And that's it for you.
Hey.
Hey!
Hey, how are
Hi.
you?
Do we finish up?
So, I want to thank you guys. You did a wonderful job, and thank you so much for being with the world's largest ghost hunt again this year. So, if you guys want to keep hunting, go right ahead. But we're going to jump off here and get some other guys going again. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
guys. Mwah.
Oh, my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, we didn't want to become serious.